It's Wednesday. You know what that means. Today on Florida's Treasure Coast Market Update, we're going to look into how to define affordable new construction, guys. Stick with me.
You better get fired up.
Yeah, you better. I like that. All right. Today, we're going to look at something that I probably haven't looked at with you guys live for about 3-4 months. And that is how to define what affordable new construction looks like in Port St. Lucie, right? So what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is we've got new construction. Well, I'll talk 3-4 months ago when I did this. We've got new construction that's selling as low as $350 to $375. But when you look at the active properties, right, the ones that are available to you, you couldn't really find anything under maybe $380, right? So what that was showing me when I did a little bit more research was, yes, there were things in the $350 to $375 range, but when they hit the market, you had to be ready and you had to put an offer in immediately because they popped immediately, right? So it really gives a lot of insight to a buyer in this market trying to pick up a property like that. That's what we want to do today. I want to show you how realistic it is, what the prices look like, and now you've got good insight as to what you've got to do if that's what it is you're trying to accomplish, right? So let's come in, and I am going to share my screen here. Oh, I've learned my lesson on that. Let's do this. And you should be able to see the MLS right now. So this is the MLS. The MLS is going to show you everything that realtors can see, right? This is kind of the behind the scenes. And if I've got a new listing, this is where I put it. If I'm a buyer, if I've got a buyer and they're interested in some stuff, this is where I go to look for it. Can you go to Realtor, Trulia, Redfin, Zillow, all those other websites? Absolutely you can. But they're pulling from this. This is the source. So if they're a day late or hours late or whatever, they're not going to have as accurate information as this. This is up to date 100%, right? So we're going to come in over here. And I'm going to pick Port St. Lucie. And we're going to look at single family homes only. Now, my best guess is we're going to see the same thing. There's going to be some selling in that 350 to 375 range, but it's going to be hard to find them in that range. But let's see what we got. Single family homes, Port St. Lucie. You can see right up here, there's 1,523 available. So now I'm going to come down. Did I? Yeah, I did. And I'm going to go year built, and we're going to say 2023. Now, not all of these will be new construction. Some of them, they lived in it for a couple months. Now they're going to sell it. But the majority of these are going to be new construction homes never lived in. Look at this guy out here. What is he doing? That's not real. All right. So here everything is. I'm going to put them in descending order of price. So we can kind of see what kind of prices we got going on. So we've got properties as high as 2.35 million, 226, 217, blah, blah, blah. But that's not really what we're looking at. What we're looking at is where are our affordable homes, right? So there are 304 available. So what 152 is going to be that median number. 152 is 492.5. So that's where the median price point for active properties on the market right now that are new construction, that's where it's at. When we look at the more affordable side, we've got one at 300 grand. That's the only one. We'll take a look at it in a second. That's the, oh, I see what the problem is. That's the only one that's under 350. We've got one at 359,995, 362, 370, 370, 373, 375, 380, 380, 380, 383, 383, 385. Right. So you can kind of see where these start affordability wise. Now let's take a look at what is the deal. Okay, so this is in Spanish Lakes, right? So you're gonna have a land lease, all different types of things. This one is a 2-story. This is going to be the most affordable new construction property. Just take a look at some of the photos. And I'll tell you, one other challenge that you're going to have with new construction like this, especially on the lower end, is this may not be the actual house. And you'll know because you'll see a drawing of the front, or you'll look at 5 and they all have exactly the same photos. What it is maybe they have built, and I'm not saying that's the case with this one, but maybe they have built. Let's go look at the next. So that one was 360. Here's a 362. They have built one that was like it. Okay, so this must be a townhouse because it's not showing the whole thing. Maybe not. That's a different color. I'm guessing it's just really close to that other one. What was I saying? I can't remember what I was saying. All right, so this one's on the water, which is really nice. Oh, the fact that the pictures are different, right? So they'll use pictures from a model, and then they just use that for every property they put on the market that's like that. So you might get different types of countertops, different types of cabinets, whatever it is. Okay, so here's 370. This actually looks pretty nice for 370. And a lot of these are probably going to be on the smaller end of the square footage. I'm guessing they're all going to be kind of that 13 to maybe 1,700 square feet. If you get over 1,700, you're starting to get pretty comfortable in this price point square footage wise. Let's take a look at this list. So square footage wise on the bottom, okay, yeah, but this one has a land lease, right? So you got 16, 15, 14. Here we finally got 1757. And that 1757 is the biggest until we get up to, holy smokes, $399,000. Right. And that was, I don't think we looked at that one. So we'll look at the, oh no, here we go. Is this, I don't think that, okay, so this isn't an HOA. So another concern with an HOA is, a lot of people don't really care if they pay 350, 375, 400 for a new construction property. What they care about is the fact that their payment's going to be a certain number, right? Well, on this one, yeah, your payment's going to hit a certain number because of the price being at 370, but you've got an added 260 a month for HOA, which with my simple math, which take that with a grain of salt, you're looking at probably the equivalent of $35,000 in price. So you could have went and bought a place for 400, 405, and it'd be the same payment as long as it's not in an HOA, right? So let's go back. I want to look at one more, this 1,800 square foot sucker. Where did it go? Right here. This is the first 1,800 square footer that we hit coming from the bottom side up, and it's $399. And let's take a look at what that property looks like. Okay, so this is really nice. I like the roof line. The door is a little odd. It's okay though. Is that it? Oh no, we get more photos. Okay, I thought it was done. Yeah, flooring looks really nice. You got the tile plank flooring. It looks like we've got quartz, stainless steel appliance package, shaker cabinets. This is pretty. And we've got some square footage, right? Which is nice. On the water, which is great. And we're in a map, are we? Let's take a look. Map. So it's the starred one way up in the Northwest. I wonder if that is what's it called? Copper Creek? No, this is Bristol at Wilder. Okay. I got you. But anyway, you can kind of see if you're looking for new construction. And you know what? Let's go back to edit search. Let's say you're only looking up to $400,000 for new construction, right? Out of the 304, you got 39. You can see on a map where you're going to be. Right over here, you've got quite a few on the, I'll say the east side. You've got quite a few on the northwest side, and then you've got a couple down here on the south side. Nothing really in the center of, like, look at this. If you're between 95 and the Turnpike and you're north of Gatlin, there's literally nothing. There's not one new construction home in this entire area here, right? So that's interesting to see as well. So, and out of those 39, how many have an association fee attached to them? Quite a few, but some of them are pretty small. So you've got 6 that don't have one. Of course, one is on Savona, so you're going to be on a busier street. You get what you pay for, right? But then we've got a bunch. Where are these? All these are all $28. Verano South. Okay, got you. Those are $28. That's not really going to be a deal breaker for a lot of people. But then you're looking at 180 to 480 on 36 minus 20 is 16 of them, right? So there you go. So really, it's pretty tough until you get up to that 360, 380 mark to find something that's active. So now let's see what's actually sold. And we're going to go closed. And we'll look what's at 2.7. So let's go back to 1.1. We got 46, 304 available, 46 sold in 31 plus it was 38 days. 304 divided by, why is it not giving me my number now? Let's do this and do this. Does that work? Hit that. 46 sold. So 304 divided by 46 equals 6.6, but then times 38 days, that's 251 days of inventory, or 8 months, over 8 months. That's a lot of inventory, right? Now that's all of new construction. That's not just the lower end. You might see different price points there. But now let's look at those that had a list price of 400 grand or less. There were five out of 46. And when we scroll in, you can see I'm guessing there's two over here in the northwest portion, one down here in the southwest section just north of Becker, and then you got two here on the southeast side close to Palm City and Stewart. I do want to get a little bit closer. Yeah, so there's two right here. I'm wondering, let's take a look though. No, those two are different. Okay, so one of these is the same. It's just two different MLS numbers. So there were only 4 sales. Okay. HOA, and two of them, well, it's the same property, had a higher HOA of 253. So let's not even count that. So in the last 38 days, there have only been 1, 2, 3 properties that are new construction that have sold with a list price of 400 grand or less. In Port St. Lucie. That is not a lot. Now we got the one at 309,990. Let's just call it 310. And then we got two at 370. They're both on Natuno Way. And the address is really close. So we'll take a look at those. But here's the one that went for 309. Oh, we're not going to get any photos. But it was an 1,800 square foot 3-2. Where was it? I bet this is, yeah, I was going to say this is Southwest Sucker. So there we go. And it sold immediately, which means it was probably a pre-sold, which means they had a buyer for it, and then they put it on the MLS just to get credit later. So these took 0 and 0. Okay, so these were pre-solds as well. So let's take a look at these. Yeah, and it's exactly the same photos. So this is what I was talking about earlier, where this is not the actual home. This is either drawings or photos from another home, but this is what it would look like, right? So nothing amazing on the front elevation. Like there's no wow factor, but the wow factor, guys, is new construction and price. That's your wow factor. So now let's come in. Super pretty. You've got tile, not carpet, which is great. It's open, which most people like. You got white shaker cabinets, stainless steel appliances, granite, so you're not looking at a laminate, which is phenomenal. You got a dishwasher. We got a microwave. Yep, you got the edging around the tops of the cabinets, which looks really nice. Light, white, bright. People love that. Of course, you're for this price, you're gonna have carpet in the bedrooms. That's pretty normal. Here, this does not look like granite. This looks like a laminate. I can't tell 100%. And it looks like you've got a plastic shower insert, which that's why it's affordable, right? Nothing wrong with that, but it's there really aren't any upgrades here. The granite and the countertop is an upgrade. Yeah, there you go. So not a lot of thrills and frills, but the thrill and frill is the fact that you got it for $370,000. So guys, there you go. There is what we've seen with new construction. There isn't a lot under that 380 range. Even 380 to 400, there weren't a ton, especially if you're trying to get rid of the larger, I'll say 180 plus HOA fees. But they certainly can be found. You need a couple things though. Number one, you want to be put in an auto email so you can see immediately when they hit the market. You'll be emailed them. Even if it's 1 a.m. and I'm sleeping and I'm your agent, it's showing up in your email. So you're in control, right? You also want an agent who's going to respond quickly. That's one of the biggest concerns with a lot of buyers and sellers is agents responding quickly. Test your agent out. Don't just pick them right away. 80% of people pick the first agent that they meet. Call them 3-4 times. Text them 3-4 times. See how they respond. Are they actually responding to you? You are probably going to be asked to sign an agreement with a realtor. In my opinion, do not do it until you've tested out the waters, right? Make sure you're comfortable with them, even if it's friend and family. You want to make sure that they're going to do a good job for you before you commit. This is a big. We're talking $350,000 to $400,000, right? So find a great person. And then secondly, or thirdly, whatever it is, you want to make sure that when you find something, you are ready. You've already been to the bank. You're already pre-approved. You've already got the cash you need. You already got the credit score you need. And you've got an agent willing and ready to write an offer on a moment's notice, right? So now when that one hits the market, you're looking at it that day because it's probably vacant. And as soon as you look at it and say you like it, it's going to take me 60 minutes to get that contract written up. I've already got the pre-approval letter. I send it to you. You've got it signed within 5 minutes. And another 5 minutes later, so 70 minutes total after seeing the house, we've got that offer over to the listing agent. That is what you should expect out of a solid realtor, right? So there you guys go. There's a little bit about the new construction market. There's my recommendations on how to take advantage of those lower prices. You're not going to get those by wheeling and dealing and hoping and praying. You've got to be fast. That is the name of the game if you want that low price new construction. So guys, there you go. Thanks for joining me. Have a phenomenal Wednesday. We'll see you next week.